Hi, all inners. That sounds weird.
Love it. Love it.
We are back. We were gone last week because we were taking a break, doing a little traveling, doing a little, funcation. Um, and I will say I actually did do a few fun things, and then my husband got sick, so kind of the rest of our week ended up being a little bit more of a him feeling better and me staying away, so I didn't get sick. But I went on a boat. I went on a walk to water parks. My nephews convinced me to go on these crazy water rides that are terrifying but exhilarating all at the same time. So I was really proud. I became the coolest aunt of the trip.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so Paul and I, we've been talking quite a bit, and we took that break last week, intentionally to give us, some time to just take a pause. And so today we're going to actually talk about it. We're going to talk about the power of the pause and why it matters, why it's meaningful. And sometimes we're working so hard to try to make all the things happen, and we forget to listen to our heart. We forget to take care of our heart. We forget to listen to our own voice. And there have been a whole bunch of episodes we've done, about being clear about who you are, being clear about what you want, not listening to too many external sources, making sure that those sources are, valid for what you want to do. But ultimately what it comes down to, and I just said this in our pre-talk, right, is clarity of mission. We get down to the why. Because if you forget why you're doing something, then it becomes 10 times harder to do it because you don't know why you're doing it. You're doing all the things, you're busy, you're networking, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're trying to build your business, you're trying to market, you're trying to do all this stuff. But then all of a sudden you go, why does it feel empty? And why am I not happy? And we have to figure out sometimes in silence, in space, in nature, what your voice, what your heart, what your soul is trying to tell you. Because if you're feeling resistance, if you're feeling fear around what you're doing and you're feeling like, I just don't want to do it, sometimes that's just fear of success. But sometimes I believe it's also because you're just not on the right road and you know it, but it's hard to accept. So you keep spinning your wheels, keep trying to do the things, trying to do the things. And Paul and I are both guilty of this at different times in our careers of doing that and thinking, okay, well, we talked about shiny object syndrome. We talked about, buying every program to try to get the answer, all the things. And sometimes the only place you need to look for the answer is in your own heart. Got anything to say?
Of course I do. She was talking to me, y'all. And so here's what I'll say. I think this is so important in this moment, the power of the pause. So many of us are so good at so many things, and it's a wonderful thing. But we sometimes go down the wrong path because of the shiny object syndrome, because you have so many people in your ear, because of money, because of situation, because of whatever. And we go so far away and down the wrong path that we literally are not truly doing the real calling of whatever it is we're supposed to be doing. And so the power of the pause, I'll tell for me in this moment is just that, is trying to figure out what that looks like. And I think so often it's hard, it's tough because there can be voices that are speaking to you that you respect. But at the end of the day, everything that we all should be doing has got to start with you. It's got to start with me. And whatever that voice is that you should be listening to, whether for me it's God, faith, whatever, it's you got to pause. You got to listen. You got to sit still and be open to what comes. Because that's the part, and you said it, right? It sometimes it's fear. You don't want to hear what maybe you should be doing. And the reality is you gotta sit and be still, pause and listen. And so you all heard me say the mantra of pause, breathe, think, react. Well, boy, this is one where, yeah, pause. Pause for as long as you need to and take the breath. Take it in. And then think about what you hear. And even though it may not be what you're expecting, your reaction has to be, that's my calling. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And even with the fear, it's okay. It's okay. And just so y'all know, I'm talking to myself right now. And so part of this is that whole, pause piece. It's hard. It is. But we run ourselves ragged doing all the other things that we think we're supposed to be doing. So many people, I'll just give a very quick example. No, most people who know me well enough know I do not like social media. Period. That's not new. I don't like it. But guess what? I've had to show up on social media because I have a business. And remember, I'm writing a book on authenticity. And it is really hard to show up on social media when authentically I don't believe in it. I have a real issue with it, and I won't go into that's a whole nother session. But what I'm saying is, even with the power of the pause, it's recognizing sometimes, yeah, we have to do some things we have to do that we don't necessarily like. That's just part of what you have to do. But also showing up in the way that you're supposed to is just as important. And being authentic is really important. And so I'm just going to challenge everybody this week is pause. In whatever area you just need to pause, really do that. Think about it. And I'm gonna just say it. I'm not saying it's easy because I'm doing the same thing. I'm in a tough space of that pause of trying to figure it out. But know that when you really sit still, the answer will come. It will. It will.
I
It
think,
will.
I just had a conversation yesterday with a client about self-care, and I mean self-care in a particular way, which is, as a coach, I'm always thinking about, I'm a performer and all the things, right? And I'm always thinking about the audience experience, right? So I'm always thinking
Mhm.
about, what do you want your audience to feel? What do you want them to walk away with? What energy do you want to bring to the room? And
Yeah.
one of the things that I've learned and continue to learn on a daily basis for the last 35 years of my career is one of the things we forget, and this is this whole point that we're making today, is what is our experience?
Yep.
What experience do I want to have? So it's
Yep.
not just the experience of the people you're serving or the people you're coaching or the
Mhm.
people you're speaking to or performing for or group coaching or workshops or whatever it is. Yes, that is really important. You're providing a service, you're doing a thing. The experience they have is really important. But as an artist, and as a musician, there have been many, many times in my own career where I didn't think about what my experience was going to be.
Yep.
Like I would be producing an event and I would be running around and doing all the things, and then I'd have to get up and perform.
Yeah.
And then I would wonder at the end why I'm exhausted, tapped, and felt like I didn't have the experience that I thought it was going to be because I was taking care of everybody so that they all had the experience that I wanted them to have. But ultimately, the power of the pause we're talking about is you get to have that moment of deciding what experience do I want to have? What's going to light me up? What's going to make me happy? What do I want to wake up to every day and do and bring to the world and bring to myself? And I think that that's the piece that I think we sometimes forget as entrepreneurs, as leaders, that we're allowed to enjoy it too. We're
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
So taking
Yeah.
that time to sit with yourself, taking that time to just listen to your own voice, get the noise out, you know, you know in your heart. but sometimes we just don't listen
Yeah.
or it's too
And
noisy.
it's and I was gonna say and I was literally gonna say sometimes it's just too noisy, and we allow all of that noise to literally silence what we really need to hear. And when you're really honest with yourself and get the real clarity, it's probably amazing what you'll learn. But we definitely allow all the noise to come in and just dictate what we should be doing instead of giving ourselves a little bit of grace and allowing the clarity to be there. Which again is why it's so important to pause and really, really, really pause and give yourself the time um, to really be still. And again, y'all, I'm talking to myself. And so it's important, right, to do that and make sure that when you wake up every morning, you know, you're filling your own cup and you're going out in this world and doing the things that bring you joy. Because when you don't, somebody's missing out on it. Somebody's missing out.
So thanks for joining us today and take some time for clarity. You won't be sorry that you did.
Go out there and pause, you all.
All right. Have a great day.
See you next week.
Bye.